Thank you so much for speaking to me. This, your character has been through so much. We
Yeah.
had divorce, we had getting shot at. There are different cases. What I want to know coming into this season, where is her mindset? And is she mentally okay?
Absolutely. She's mentally okay. Belle is, I will say me and Belle are a lot alike in this regard, just very resilient. I think she probably has to compartmentalize a tad, to make sure that she's completely focused on what she has to do at work because she is the leader of this task force and they're dealing with like heavy things.
Mhm.
And not only does she have to manage her team, she also has to manage like the other parts of the law enforcement um uh like the other branches of law enforcement that are coming in to work with them, which it seems sometimes like they're working against them. So she has to manage people. So she has to keep herself in check to be able to do that. And I think Belle does a really great job of keeping home life, personal life outside of the OC task force as much as possible.
I wanted to touch upon the home life just a little bit. We do know that, we talked about the divorce. We do know she has the children. But what I
Yeah.
wanted to know is, as being a mom and also being a sergeant,
Yeah.
um, not only do you feel that she blends the two, or she's such a great job at compartmentalizing that she's able to focus and be when it's mom time, it's mom time. When it's time to be, say, stable as friend as
Yeah.
opposed to boss, I'm able to do that.
I think she is. Yeah. I think she's learned how to do that. I can imagine, before getting to where she is, before being a sergeant, there were probably many situations and situations where she had to learn how to do that over time. I think that's one of the things she's tried to, teach Jet and Reyes, as they had their little thing going on that was kind of bleeding into their work. It's like, listen, do what you do. Don't let it affect what we're doing here. I think she tells Jet that last season. Like, if it's starting to affect work, then you need to figure it out. And I think that she takes her own advice. And I think it's also the burden of leadership. Like, there
Right.
are certain things you're going to go through in your life. Nobody cares because you're the leader and they're looking to you no matter what you're going through in your life. They're looking to you to lead them. They're looking to you to let them know what they should do, where they should go, how it should be done. So they can't be sitting around waiting for you to cry and, worry about this and that. At the end of the day, I think that Belle's son is, of course, her first priority. So if something happened to him, she'd be like, "Yo, y'all got to take care of it. I gotta go be with my baby." But yeah, I think she's good in that way where she's able to be what she needs to be when she needs to be it.
So I want to talk about season 5, which is opens up with a big banger. We can say that we do know that Elliot goes undercover because of Belle's suggestion to go undercover. It gets a little dicey. We know within the trailer there is an accident that occurs. I wanted to talk about the relationship between Belle and Stabler.
Mhm.
Um, both of it's a friendship, but it's also a boss worker relationship. And what I wanted to know is how is it different, do you feel, from previous seasons going into this season?
I think the respect level between Bell and Stabler is continuing to grow and they're figuring out their dynamic. I think early on in the series, Belle kind of had to establish herself as the one that's in charge because if she wouldn't have, Stabler would have just gone off the rails and did whatever the hell he wanted to do whenever he wanted to do it. And he still tried it. But she, had to rein him in. But I think in this season, I think she trusts him. I think she knows that he knows what he's doing, even if some of the things he does, it might feel like it's a little off the cuff or just kind of like, what are you doing? It always somehow seems to work out. So I think in general, Belle is in a place where she's trusting her team to do what she knows they can do. It's a specialized task force. All of them are experts at what they do. And so they don't need Belle coming in, micromanaging. I love that she suggests that he go undercover this time. It's not him coming to her, I think I should go undercover. And she's like, no, why? Like, I'm glad that that was not the case this season, and that this season she's like, yo, I need you to do this. And of course, he kind of pushes back a little bit, and she's like, no, I'm serious. Like, I actually I really need you to do this. So yeah, it makes me happy that Belle is kind of like she's trusting her team, and she's not coddling or mothering everybody this season. She's saying, like, hey, you have what it takes, get out there and do it, and I really like that.
Will she be okay if something does happen to Sabler? Because it was her suggestion this time to go
Yeah.
undercover.
Yeah. I mean, I think if something were to happen to Stabler, she would, of course, be devastated, and she would be like, but also it's a part of the job. Like,
Right.
it's a part of the job. It's like flying an airplane. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a risk. When we get on a plane, there's always a risk that something could happen. We get in our car, there's a higher risk that something could happen, but we do it, and I think if anything happened to anybody on her team, it would be devastating. We've seen it be devastating in the past. But at the end of the day, this is what we all signed up for. So, we're going to try to make the best decisions that we can with the information that we have. And then we're going to trust God for the rest.
We do know that, there is the involvement of the FBI that does come in, and then there's a little, why are you here kind of situation. Does she feel that she can still trust her instincts to know when something is good or bad? Is it more about because she has that flow and no longer being able to micromanage, not being able, but she does, that she can like let go and let the team figure everything else out?
Well, I mean, she's still in charge. So
Mhm.
I think any good leader empowers their team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not a good leader if you're micromanaging and you're making all the decisions all the time. A good leader helps other people how to learn how to lead. They help people become empowered to make the right decisions. So I think with her team, that's what she's doing. She's empowering them to make the right decisions. As far as like the FBI coming in and all that, she has to make sure that they know who's actually in charge. So she makes a point of addressing whatever needs to be addressed, checking whoever needs to be checked, so they know you're not about to come in here and take over. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mhm.
empowering my team to do the right thing, and you need to wait for my command or whatever it is because you don't really go here. Like, you don't really go here. You're just here visiting, and what you're not going to do is come into my task force and take over. So I think she has a really great balance of when she needs to assert herself and when she needs to step back and let people do what they need to do.
Is there a certain aspect that you're excited for fans to see about Belle that we haven't been introduced to before?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure if you haven't been introduced to it before. You know what I mean? I'm just
Mhm.
excited for you guys to see the show. I'm excited for you guys to see how this team is coming, really gelling together to navigate life and to navigate these cases. I'm excited for you guys to get to hear us curse. I'm excited for you guys to get to see like the grittier storylines. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And you guys have waited so long. So I'm just happy it's coming out.
How is she with her relationship? Because we know that she's already been through a rough patch. Is that something that you think is buried and it's more about focusing on her?
Like her love relationship.
Yes.
I have no idea. We have not talked about her love relationship at all. So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, as an actor, I have made my own choices about what's going on with her co-parenting relationship. Like, her and Denise do not have any kind of romantic dealing with one another. And I think Belle is trying to give herself some time before she gets into another relationship because I mean, I personally have gone through divorce. And it's easy to just like get with someone else, to fill that void. But the type of woman that Belle is, I think she's being very intentional about um, working on herself, making sure she's 100% to lead her team and 100% to, raise her baby. And the love aspect of it, I think, she'll be open to that later, maybe next season, I hope.
Okay.
We'll
Is
see.
there a, we'll see. Is there a particular case that you feel tests Belle the most in this season?
Sorry, you said, oh, that tests her the most?
Yes.
Um, Gosh, let me think, because we shot these episodes a long time ago. Um, Tests her the most. I think probably the final case. Yes, the final case at the end of the season, I think that tests her the most because she was familiar like with the victims. I don't want to give too much away, but
Right.
uh, last season she was very much involved with these people and these victims and stuff. And so for it to like come back again, I think it might remind her of some things that were kind of like a difficult time in her life. When having to deal with these victims again and see what ultimately happens to them. I think that was a little hard for her.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to me. Excellent series, by the way, and congratulations on the
Thank
new
you.
season. Thank
Thank
you.
you.